So, Phase 2 of the Elite Dangerous Odyssey Alpha saw the return of player ship ownership, and so we are no longer limited to using the divisive Apex shuttle service. And things got off to an interesting start, with the accidental early release of several features intended for later phases. Being very quick to get into game after the update, I was able to procure and test some of these items, including 3 of the 4 plasma weapons and the Artemis exploration suit. We'll come back to the Artemis suit later though, and for now I will be using the newly released Dominator suit. It is a terrible name, I know, but the suit itself is great, offering more protection than the Maverick suit and an additional primary weapon slot, so that's 3 weapons overall. The plasma weapons I got to use were extremely effective against both shields and armour, though having a slower moving projectile means that leading targets becomes more of an issue, and this offsets the high damage I feel, giving the weapons a sense of balance. The plasma rifle can take out a shield in a single shot, with another shot killing NPCs in the version I was testing. Granted, as these weapons were not even intended to be released, these stats could all change by the final version. Along with the rifle, there was an automatic rifle, with a high rate of fire, though less damage per projectile. This I think would be my go-to weapon in the final release, at least until some kind of railgun or gauss rifle is added. There was also a plasma pistol I tested and found to be very effective, and a plasma shotgun I did not have the chance to test. Very much looking forward to having access to these weapons on a permanent basis. The Artemis suit I didn't get a lot of chance to play around with or figure out, as by this time it was known that FDev would be removing the erroneously released items, and so I didn't know how much time I had and wanted to get some footage as quickly as I could. The Exobiology scanner looks good and is satisfying to use, though for the footage I shared on the day I didn't figure out how to use it, but a big thank you to all the commenters that pointed out how it actually should be used. Frontline Solutions, a mercenary service offering enlistment for ground conflicts, was also added to the alpha, complete with dropship service to take you to the battlefield.
Are you ready to fight? Ready to join the fight, soldier.
You've got...
Ready to deploy.
We could try and win you over with promotional points.
On screen right now we can see the dropship hangar, and the dropship so far is always a vulture. While on the journey to the battlefield, you are in the multi-cruise seat, but for the drop itself you appear in a drop pod in the cargo bay. In my opinion, it would be better if the whole journey was spent in this pod, maybe adding a kind of holographic HUD so the occupants know how far into the journey they are. And just like the taxi service, you cannot share a dropship with other commanders at the moment. Again, something of a shame.
I'm gonna go to the first one and fight for Values Party of Navy.
Okay, great, okay. Now what I want to try, like, if this doesn't work, I can always go and book one. If you go down to the hangar, the Frontline hangar, I want to see if I can follow you down there.
Okay. Oh, dropship not ready.
Okay.
Oh, you're walking.
Yeah, what do you mean?
You were walking. For 1 second. Did you know
okay,
last time you said...
Okay, yeah, so what I've got right now is, so I'm using my throttle to control, like, my movement, and then the mouse to control, like, because I'm sick of moving the keyboard around all the time. So I've got a little analog stick, and I think if I push that just a little bit, I think I can walk, you know, instead of running.
Yeah.
Which is quite good. But on a keyboard, you can't do that.
Okay, I'm down. I came down. You can't come down, can you?
I can't, no. Being able to head out to battle with your assembled team would be far more engaging, I feel, and would be immediately accessible for organised groups looking for a quick start into combat. During the battle, you have this commander or announcer voice informing you of the battle progress.
Enemy targets and secure the area.
It is very loud, and as far as I can tell, cannot be adjusted by volume controls. It's extremely obnoxious and annoying, and really should be either removed, presented in a different way, or given player control to adjust the volume.
Foxtrot signal is online. Delta is in enemy hands. Enemy support has arrived. Reinforcements have arrived. Foxtrot signal is online. Echo has lit up. The enemy has captured Bravo. Enemy reinforcements are coming in hot. Echo has lit up. Charlie was secured.
The battles themselves consist of either killing enough enemy to deplete their reinforcement tickets, how most battles are won in my experience, and control points in the settlement that can be captured. I've yet to actually see the capture points play an important role in conflict zones, or if they are playing a role, I cannot see the effect of it. It would maybe be cool to have different battle types, such as an attacker and defender dynamic, where objectives must be taken one by one. Right now, the capture point mechanics are what we have.
Enemy command has called in backup. Reinforcements inbound. Bravo is online. Chalk up Echo for us. Enemy support has arrived.
The FPS combat of Odyssey, in my opinion, is very good. It's got a very slick, very smooth feel to it, and a lot of feedback for your actions. I know a lot of people have complained that the enemy are bullet sponges, but if you use the right weapons for shields and then armor, they really aren't bullet sponges at all, and can be taken down relatively quickly. I feel that the separation of shields and armor adds a nice technique-based approach to combat, meaning you have to plan ahead and ensure that the right weapon is equipped to deal with the situation you're moving into. I've seen a lot of people over-relying on the rocket launcher. I think that if you gave laser and kinetic weapons a chance, you'd see that they are perfectly effective. And if you use the right techniques, the flow of combat is very fluid and satisfying, on a moment-to-moment level especially. Arriving at a battle in your ship and seeing aerial combat going on as you approach is very cool. Federal security is firing at...
Enemy command has called in backup. Delta is now online. We've claimed Bravo.
Oh, there's ships all over the place, wow. It's a lot busier than other conflict zones I've been in.
Delta is now online.
Yeah, it's quite
Echo
busy,
has
but
lit
I
up.
haven't seen an actual
Foxtrot is
command
ours.
yet.
Echo has
Just
lit
had
up.
it drop like 15 FPS right there. Yep.
Okay, I'm coming down for a landing now. I do feel that the battles are a bit short though, and lack a sense of meaning or significance. Like I said, if there were battle mechanics that gave a better sense of progress being made, and that promoted realistic or even mildly tactical thinking about the situation over arena-style combat, this could develop into something truly amazing. The community team have invoked armor as a comparison several times during the promotion for this expansion. As an armor player, I think that comparison is misplaced. There's certainly nothing like the depth that you would find in armor, but armor is trying to do an entirely different thing altogether. The SRV can be used in combat too, and becomes a major force multiplier, effectively a tank in comparison to ground troops.
The enemy has captured Bravo. Charlie has come online. Alpha is now online. Enemy command has called in backup. Bravo is online. Foxtrot is ours. Reinforcements inbound. Bravo is online.
The current settlements that I have seen do not really offer the best scale or open spaces to really make full use of vehicles in combat. It ends up a little bit cumbersome with you bumping into cover and things like that. And I hope we see settlements that are maybe spread over a larger area to allow both infantry and vehicles to be fully utilised in future. Two really awesome features of the SRV now are that you can disembark at any point and that other members of your team can jump into the SRV and drive it, provided that your ship has a multi-crew seat. I kind of wish they would remove that restriction and instead just prevent the other person from returning the SRV to your ship if there isn't a second seat. But at the minute, if you don't have a second seat on your ship, you cannot have someone else jump in the SRV. I also tried VR in Odyssey, and leaving aside the 2D projected screen FDev have gone for on the on-foot parts of the game, which due to some already known technical problems I was unable to get footage of here. There's definitely a performance hit with significantly worse frame rate than in Horizons, especially planet side. I made an attempt to drop the sampling down, but they seem to crash Oculus software every time. This is still in the alpha, so we can't judge the performance of the final release yet, but at the moment at least, definitely a lot to be desired here. There are still many more parts of Phase 2 that need to be tested and looked at in more detail, but these have been my findings over the first few days. Overall extremely positive, I'm having a lot of fun playing the on-foot segments of the game, especially combat, and the changes that Frontier made in between Phase 1 and Phase 2 based on feedback have been very good.